Right. Hello, club members. So this will be the last part of our Unity lecture. This is the fifth part. So what I'll be going over in this lecture is how to use other softwares to import your game assets into the project you're working on. So for those who are not in the, design or coding team, for those who are probably in the art team or music team, I'll be teaching you how to import like the things you made into this project so that way you don't have to like ask how to like do these things. Yeah, I guess we'll just get started. We'll start with the art first of all. And here I have Blender, which is a software we'll be using for making assets. You can use any software you want for like Maya or something for 3D modeling, but we'll be going over Blender primarily. We'll be teaching that soon. So as you can see, I have Blender opened here. I'll just create a new project, something new general project like this, and we come to this view here. Now, I'm not going to be going over how to like use Blender or something, but you will need to know some things before I actually start importing this into the project I have open here, this game project. Here we have the scene collection, which is where it's the hierarchy equivalent from Unity. And as you can see, we have a camera and light in this collection. The only thing we're importing, however, is the game object or just the object, not these two. So if you click on this and press delete, that's what we want. We'll not want either of those imported into Unity. So since we already have a cube and it will be hard to differentiate which asset I imported, I'm actually gonna delete this and press Shift A and hover over mesh and just add something. Let's see. So monkey is a unique object. So we'll just import this into the Unity project. And the way we do this, firstly, press Control S to save it. Save it wherever you want. Now, once you do that, once you save it, press File, then press Export, and make sure it's fbx.fbx. Now, once you do this, wherever you saved your Unity project, so in my case, I saved it in Documents, Assets, and then my first Club Unity project. And be sure to press Assets. And as you can see, these are all the things we have right now. Now, what we want to do is limit to selected objects only, then keep all of this checked. And when we say the apply scalings, do not make it all local. We want to make it FBX unit scale so that it's not huge when we import it into Unity. So it will be like the scaling equivalent for how large it is in Unity. It will be like as large as you want it, based on how large it is in Blender. So it's always good to have it at FBX unit scale. And here we see something called forward. So it's basically the forward direction that this game object is facing. In our case, we can see right here, it's facing in the negative y direction. So if we hover over this outline, this green outline circle, it shows that this monkey is facing towards the negative y direction. So what we want to do then is have it in the negative y forward because that is where it is facing up. And of course, the up is the z-axis, positive z. It's not negative z because that's the top of this game object. And yeah, leave it like that and import this asset as such as the options I showed you. So once we do that, so make sure that's like that. And now as we drag into the scene, this is how it looks. So yeah, we can tell this is how we import normal game objects into Unity. Now I'll be going over how to import game objects that you may have animated added animations to, which we'll be teaching soon. As you can see, this is like a character I was modeling for a personal project. Now, usually it's always good to have the T-pose at the top so that you can edit what animation you want in through Unity to play. So these are just some animations I have. I'll just quickly demonstrate them. So this is one animation, it's a fall animation. Then we have here, this is a swimming animation, some running animation, and what else do we have? We got a jump animation. So these are actually the things we'll be importing into Unity. Now, something we want to do for this is we'll be going over what this skeleton is. It's called an armature, is what we call it. It's like the bones for a character you're modeling. So when you do this, make sure you have both of these selected. Then go to File, Export, FBX again. Make sure it's FBX. Then let's go back to the project we're working on. As you can see here, we'll want to limit to selected objects again, and then have the FBX unit scale, and this is also negative Y forward. These are the types of scalings we want. Then let's see. Now here is where we want to like actually focus our attention. So we don't want to bake all actions, which are the things uh, you'll have right here. We don't want to bake like everything, including this swim. We want to only bake the ones we have selected. So here we have this animation, the fall animation selected. We also got the jump, swim, and run. These are the only things we want, as well as this T pose and then the idle pose. We do not want this because that's not what we're actually, that animation isn't a working one. So do not check all actions, only just uncheck it because by default it will be checked all the time. And then when we do that, let's do export FBX and we'll go back to Unity. And as you can see, the colors are not showing for this game object. And there's a reason why. Something we'll actually have to do is use the material that we used in Blender. So something I used in Blender was a palette. If we go here, this is the palette we used, or I used for this project. You'll want to import that same palette into this scene as well. So I am just going to import that real quick. Other than I have, this was the palette I was using. So import that here. And now as you can see, it's automatically, you can see the colors automatically, if we go here, we can see the colors are automatically added to this character. Make sure you bake axis conversion. We'll be going over this animator stuff later, once we get into the Blender side of things. But yeah, that's pretty much how you import a Blender model into Unity if it has animations. The next thing we'll be going over is how to import music tracks into Unity. So this is a track I made using Bosca Sea Oil. I'll just play it. Just a track. And that's pretty much it. That's how the track sounds. I just have it for a separate project I'm working on. So simply, since we're gonna also be using Basquecillo, I'll teach you how to like, export this and simply click on export. You'll see dot wave and dot mid. So you can actually export it as dot wave, but what we want is dot wave uh, to MP3 converter. And as you can see, we have this right here. Um, and since we already have, okay, now it just finished exporting. Let's actually name this something. I'm just gonna call this uh fifth lecture track or something like that. I'll just save it and simply go to this converter, Cloud Convert, and let's add this track. Once you convert this, you'll be able to properly import this asset into Unity. And I'll just show a demonstration. I think I do have other tracks around here, so I'll just, maybe add this shop channel track. And this is an MP3 file as well. Take note of that. Let's see if you hover over it. Yeah, it's an MP3 file. So it's always better to convert to an MP3. That's the best compatible file type. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see, did it finish exporting? Yeah, it finished exporting. Now go to Unity, just add this. It'll be pretty simple. And yeah, you can see it works well here. And yeah. And the next thing we'll be going over is how to add pixel art or, 2D art to your game. If you're making sprites or sprite animations like UI, you want to color that or something, this is how you do it. So I'll just actually quickly make, something as a quick reference. I'll just add like a, let's see, button, kind of something like that, and press This is like a play. Oh, holy crap, that is horrible. But the point is, you can modify this, and we have two different. I just duplicated this. This is the reason I'm duplicating this is because I want to show you how to import like a sprite animation into Unity, not just the sprite. So it's really simple if you let's keep doing this. I guess we can have these four sprites import it into Unity and add it as an animation. So I'll just leave it like this. Now, what we're going to do is actually export this and see where it says export. Once you press that, go to PNG and then have it as a sprite sheet. Download it as a sprite sheet because that's how we're going to import it into Unity. And since we downloaded that right now, let's see. New Pisco, that's the one we just had. And as you can see here, this is the 2D art we have. It's actually black purely because the ink I was or paint I was using was using black, but that doesn't matter right now. For now, what I'm gonna do is hover over this, see where it says Sprite 2D and UI. Click on that, and then Sprite mode will have multiple because we have four different sprites, and now we can also edit these two. I usually have clamp or set like this, and then it's also better to have point no filter. So as you can see here, these are the four sprites we have. Let's see. And please download 2D sprite package from package manager. So yeah, I'm actually glad we went over this because now I'll be teaching you how to import packages into Unity. These are like separate libraries if you think of it in coding aspects, just separate things you can add to your game or like project to make things easier for you. So we can actually do this by going package manager, window, and then package manager. Then we have, let's see, make sure it's also not in project. Let's just do Unity registry and let's add Sprite, 2D Sprite. Let's install this. And since we have that installed now, we'll get this tab here, which is the fourth sprites we just added. So now what we'll want to do is actually slice this or cell count. So it's two columns, two rows. This is how it looks. And once we do that, press slice, then press apply. So these are the four sprites we have. And if you press on this play icon, we'll see these four sprites here. So that's basically how you export these types of assets into Unity if you want to make pixel art or 2D art. And the one that it automatically imports is this first sprite, first part of the sprite animation. If you want to really get into like the nitty-gritty stuff, which, usually the coders will add, we'll be able to code this into playing each of these, looping sprites to like show the illusion of an animation. So really, we'll be coding through this. All you have to do is just make the sprites and import them into Unity if you're working on 2D art. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. It's like kind of basic, just going over what to import, how to import stuff. Um, the people who will be using Unity for our projects directly, like hands-on, they'll be handling the stuff related to coding and playing the animations. All you have to do is just export them into Unity. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial, last tutorial of this Unity series. You know, thank you guys. For those of you who were engaged, thank you guys for being engaged, and I'll see you guys soon. We'll be going over game design as well, so stay tuned for that as well. I'll see you guys.